What's going on, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to the first episode of the drop back from E3 2017. And let me just tell you, this week is not that impressive in my opinion. We have a game coming to the Nintendo Switch that is deemed a classic and iconic indie game. You can kind of debate that, and then a couple of other things that are releasing, so it's still worth making an episode of the drop. Just don't expect some kind of incredible spectacle of amazing video games. So, kicking things off, we have Cave Story Plus coming to the Nintendo Switch, and the description reads, arguably the most well-known indie game of all time, Cave Story Plus features a completely original storyline wrapped with personality, mystery, and hours of fast-paced fun. Cave Story Plus is an action-adventure game from the critically acclaimed independent designer Daisuke Amaya, or Pixel to his fans. Pixel is much easier to say. Overflowing with unmatched charm and character, Cave Story Plus takes you into a rare world where a curious race of innocent rabbit-like creatures called Mimigas run free, run, jump, shoot, fly, and explore your way through a massive action-adventure reminiscent of classic 8 and 16-bit games. Take control and learn the origins of this world's power, stop the delusional villain, and save the Mimiga. Make no mistake, I'm sure this game is going to be right at home on the Nintendo Switch, like a lot of other 2D side-scrolling platformer games are. However, I do feel like it is contributing to somewhat of a stereotype I'm seeing within the Nintendo Switch library, and that is that it is really, really popular to port your 2D side-scroller onto the system. Not that that's a bad thing, I'm just seeing a bit of overpopulation. Personally, for me, I'm kind of waiting on Super Meat Boy to jump over to the Nintendo Switch, which the developer has kind of hinted at, so that's the platform I am looking forward to the most, but to see Cave Story Plus coming to the Switch is definitely a sight worth smiling at, if that's a saying anywhere in the world. So anyways, if you are interested in Cave Story Plus, it is coming over to the Nintendo Switch this week. Next up, we have a ton of Final Fantasy XIV Online stuff that's coming out, and I'm going to try and break it down in a very simple way. There is a starter edition coming out in certain parts of the world, it seems, that allows you to level up until a certain point, kind of like World of Warcraft starter edition, and then on top of that, there is a huge expansion for the game by the name of Stormblood that is coming out for existing players and was released in beta on PC, and then on top of that, we have what I am going to be talking about specifically, which is the complete experience version of Final Fantasy XIV that is coming out on the PlayStation 4 and the PC. For the newcomers to Final Fantasy XIV Online, this bundle is the complete edition and includes the award-winning Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn and its expansions Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward and Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood, which is the one that came out this past weekend in beta. Join millions of others online and start your own Final Fantasy adventure today. So the big news here is that Final Fantasy XIV Online is getting its Stormblood expansion pack, which is going to be a relatively beefy expansion pack if we see anything from the beta release of the game. Now, there are some issues with it, gameplay side and server side, but overall people seem to be relatively happy with the way the release has gone, even though it has been a tidbit rocky. From an outsider's perspective, from someone like me who's not really into MMOs or the Final Fantasy universe, this game may seem kind of like a flop. However, the description is not exaggerating whatsoever. There are literally millions of people that really enjoy playing this, and they definitely do flock back to the game, especially during the expansion pack release season. So, expect a little bit of a wait time whenever you're getting online, but for those that are fans of Final Fantasy XIV Online, you are getting a brand new expansion pack this weekend. For those that are interested in jumping into it, there are a couple of new editions coming out. The starter edition is coming out in certain areas of the world, along with this complete edition if you just wanted to jump right in and completely and totally spend your whole life just engaged with Final Fantasy XIV content for the next couple of weeks. Next up, Oceanhorn is finally coming to the Nintendo Switch. You wake up and find a letter from your father. He is gone. The only lead is his notebook and a mysterious necklace. What happened? Oceanhorn, Monster of Uncharted Seas combines captivating storytelling, breathtaking 3D visuals, and exciting gameplay into one epic action-adventure experience. In the game, you explore the islands of Uncharted Seas, a world filled with many dangers, puzzles, and secrets. You must fight monsters, learn to use magic, and discover ancient treasures which will help you on your quest. Use all of your wits and skill to unravel the mysteries of the ancient kingdom of Arcadia and the sea monster, Oceanhorn. When the game came out on consoles, people were happy. When the game came out on PC, people were happy. There is an incredible review section on Steam, and on top of that, the devs actually ported the game over to the PlayStation Vita, where it runs relatively well, and it is at a very affordable price tag. Now, of course, as we all know, if we are being honest with ourselves here, the Nintendo Switch has basically all but killed the entirety entirety of the life of the PlayStation Vita from this point forward, so it is just kind of the next big step for Oceanhorn to come over to the Switch, where all the Vita fans have kind of migrated over the course of the past couple of months. That is assuming you can get your hands on a Nintendo Switch, which I hear are still kind of relatively difficult to find for some people. Anyways, for fans of the Zelda-esque experience or fans of Oceanhorn from a different platform, you are going to be able to finally play it on the Nintendo Switch this week. Next up, we have MXGP, the official motocross video game coming to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. The new MXGP edition, based on the 2016 season, offers the player a dynamic, ever more enjoyable gaming experience thanks to a series of innovative graphics and techniques introduced by the new Unreal Engine 4 graphics engine, which will take the game experience to a surprising new level. I love the use of the word surprising here because it's like you weren't expecting anything to begin with. Hit the gas and get ready to tackle unpredictable dynamic weather conditions in a competition which is unique in its genre. From sun to heavy rain, every change will decisively influence the rider's visibility and the high deformable ground, putting even the most expert player to the test. And it is the ground which provides the greatest challenge. Mud, dust, and dynamic deformations will be the master of all. This actually sounds really cool. While the sound of engines running at full throttle, souped up with a brand new engine merged with the ambient noise of chainsaws. And if this groundbreaking generational breakthrough with the use of a new graphics engine is not enough to satisfy the most discerning ballots, players will also find themselves with a career mode and enhanced customization, along with the all-official MXGP and MX2 2016 riders, the official tracks including the MXON, both in offline and online modes. Listen, first off, kudos to whoever wrote that description, because I even got excited. Like, I progressively got more interested in the game. But on a basic level, whenever you are just looking at it, it is the official motocross video game, and to be honest, it looks pretty cool, and that is all thanks to Unreal Engine 4. The one thing that really impresses me, somebody who does not care about this at all, about this game is the fact that the ground seems to be able to change depending on the weather conditions. So if it rains, there's going to be mud, therefore you are going to have to adjust your driving style depending on what kind of weather condition you have. And I know this is something that has been introduced in various video games in the past, but the fact that MXGP3 is actually doing this does bring a little bit of hope for the franchise back into my heart. When the game came out on PC, it was reviewed very well. It's actually sitting at a pretty great spot on Steam right now, so if you've been looking forward to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One editions of the game, tread cautiously because occasionally console ports don't do as hot as the PC version of the game, but with that being taken into account, it certainly looks like it's a pretty great game. And to wrap things up, a couple of honorable mentions. Dead by Daylight is coming to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Dead Rising 4 Super Ultra Dead Rising 4 Mini Golf is coming to everywhere that Dead Rising 4 was available. I'm not sure about that, but I threw it in there because the name sounded interesting. And God Wars Future Past is coming to the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation Vita because that certainly did seem like a game that some people would be excited about, just not me. So there you guys have it. That is your back from E3 edition of The Drop. If you enjoyed this video, drop me a like down below. And if you are new to the channel, I do upload new stuff throughout the week, so there's always something new on the channel. And there is an entire playlist of E3 2017 content for you guys to enjoy, which will be linked after this video in about 20 seconds. But as for right now, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for watching this particular video, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Peace.